Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. If you want to call in, 570-530-8316. Beeb, let's get it started here. Times Square, DAZN, pay-per-view. This was on Friday. All right, before we talk about this, DJ Mexicano, Detect, thank you so much, my friend. He said, after this weekend's performances, I don't want to see Skull or Haney on a pay-per-view card again. I don't want to see Canelo on a pay. I don't want to see any more DAZN pay-per-views. How about that? Let's even take it that far.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something real quick, because something was bothering me all Saturday. I was thinking about this. Okay, I don't know. On paper, that was a good card. Yeah, Devin, Haney,
we said it was,
and they were all good fighters. Mm-hmm. They weren't like showcases or anything like that. You can make the case that Raleigh was a showcase fight, but I don't think you can. I think Raleigh's a good opponent. Raleigh's a very good fighter. I think he's
Raleigh can punch. At the very least, Raleigh can punch.
Yeah,
and he's dangerous.
Yeah,
he's a dangerous
opponent. He's got power, man. And he was doing great in that Davis fight until again he was caught. All right.
Yes.
So listen, man. The venue was great. Times Square, I mean, you couldn't really ask for anything more. They put the fight right in the middle of Times Square. I'm assuming it's where the ball dropped, because there's a whole concrete. We had a room at the DoubleTree right there, right? And you could look down and see it. Now, we weren't there where the ball dropped, but we were there at the same area. Mm-hmm. So the DoubleTree is right there and everything like that. Everything is right there. Really cool place. Really cool place to stage a fight. You could hear the traffic going by. It was pretty amazing, right? They put a roof on it and everything like that. So it was really cool to see. Here's my problem with it. To get there, those guys had to warm up at the hotel. Why the hotel was back wherever it was, I don't know. But I know there's a hotel right there. There's a DoubleTree and there's another one. They should have had a staging area where the guys come in to warm up and everything like that, and then they go, get there, warm up. And it was cool to see him, driving in on cars and the Batmobile and everything like that. But I think it screwed him up. I really do. Every fight was flat. Every one of them. Even the Teofimo fight was a little flat. There was no knockouts, anything like that. Yeah, everybody looked.
Seemed like he was just playing around. He was playing around with Barboza. All the fights appeared to me to be like sparring sessions. All of them.
Well, all of them. That's right. And what's funny is that Ryan Garcia, after his fight, they were interviewing him and stuff. They were at the presser or whatever. And he says, it felt like a sparring session. He said, because you look out, there's not that many people there. It's like a handful of people, and you're looking around. It's not your normal venue. There's not like a big crowd. Yeah. It's just a bunch of people there, and it's not, it wasn't like a real 16,000 people looking on. It was, whoever was there. Like I said, a handful of people. Reese Mack, I don't know what hotel they stayed at, but I know there was a DoubleTree right where they were.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been better to have them walk out from there to the ring, at least make a ring walk. What I mean?
It's funny. When I saw them being driven by a car, I'm saying to myself, this can't be normal for them.
No, because you're not warming up. He's got to warm up, right? Then he's got to get in the car, go to the venue. And what was it on the Teofimo fight? I think it was the Teofimo fight where Ramirez was late, not late, but I'm sorry, Arnold Barboza, excuse me.
Yes,
was late, and not.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It looked like he was stuck in traffic, like they were waiting for him to get there.
Got you.
So if he's warm, getting to that ring, and now what? Now you got to wait for the other guy to come in. Listen, man, it was a cool venue.
Yeah, it was nice.
Once in a lifetime.
The optics of it looked awesome.
Awesome. But I think as a practicality point, I don't think you guys should do that again. Because again, I don't think it worked in the fighter's favor. It wasn't,
That's a That's a very good point, Eric, because it wasn't ideal for the fighters. It wasn't their normal setting and atmosphere that they were used to. And it was like COVID. A lot of fighters complained, and they said, it was hard fighting without a crowd there. We feed off the crowd.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden we're like, it's like we're as you said, it's all quiet. It's like you're in the gym sparring.
And he said he could hear everybody and everything like that. It just wasn't, it was different. It was just too different, he said. Virtuoso, thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love. I'm certain that Haney and Garcia's balls didn't drop in Times Square the way they fought.
And
you could say that again.
And I gotta shout out the Supreme Sutter Kane, because I promised him I would. About a month ago, he was telling me that
that was the guy. That was the guy. Yep.
He was telling me
only
Sutter Kane told me Rolly Romero is going to beat Ryan's ass. That's what he said.
The only one, aside from him who picked him, was Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford did. Crawford pick him too?
Crawford told Shakur before the fight that he was going to win, and sure enough, he did. And Shakur validated it. So
can I make another point too?
No.
Right? Because everybody is acting like because Ryan lost, that somehow validates Devin Haney in any way. And I would argue, and this is just my opinion, feel free to disagree, any one of you people out there. I thought Devin Haney looked worse against Ramirez than he looked against Ryan.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a second. But you're 100. He looked horrendous. I wouldn't pay a dime to watch Haney fight again.
Let me ask you this. What you saw from Devin Haney, did that reassure you that you think he would beat Ryan? That's
I'm gonna tell you what, man.
Still a 50-50 fight based off of what we saw from both men. And again,
I'm telling you right now, Haney's washed.
Yeah, and Rolly,
I'm telling you right now, Haney is washed.
Rolly is not Devin. Rolly can punch.
Yeah.
Rolly is strong. Rolly is bigger than Devin. So he's more dangerous. And Ryan got hurt early in the fight, and it just mentally took him out of the fight. He fought the rest of the fight a little bit apprehensive. Like he was a little bit spooked in that fight. He looked like he was intimidated. Devin never hurt him in the fight, really. Even when Devin hit him clean, like he walked right through the punches. Rolly hurt him when he hit him. So again, just because everyone's like, oh, that's because no more Austrian. No, like styles make fights. Rolly is not Devin. And we saw how Devin looked worse, in my opinion.
He looked awful.
As you always say, combat math doesn't work. And in this case, I can definitely say, in my opinion, combat math doesn't work here. That's still a 50-50 fight if they rematch.
Yeah. Omar Rodriguez hit it right on the head. Just going to say that Eric called it last week when he said that Sane Ryan not good. I did. I told you.
And there was a video on Twitter. Eric, there was a video on Twitter showing him at the Haney press conference, yelling, screaming, had bass in his voice. Yep. And then they put another video of him at the most recent press conference leading up to the Roy fight. He was all quiet.
Not the same,
people
baby.
Like this guy ain't the same dude, man.
Crazy Ryan, I told you. Crazy Ryan, baby.
Yeah.
Get back in the cockfights and drinking and all that other stuff because I want Crazy Ryan, man. I don't want this guy.
That's right.
I don't want this guy. Rolly Romero in the upset of the night wins a unanimous decision over Ryan Garcia, 115-112 twice and 118-109. Rolly knocked Garcia down in the second round en route to the decision. Garcia just looked flat. He just looked flat.
Once again, like everyone was saying, once he got knocked down and hurt, his whole approach to the fight changed.
Yeah.
His whole mentality changed.
That's what happened. Is he got clipped in that second round. And
you know what? His face. You could see his face.
The tank. They had it side by side. Somebody on social media or YouTube or one of those had it side by side. They had Ryan getting knocked out. Then they had the tank knocked down, and they had the Rolly knocked down, and it was the same exact
his face
shot.
In both instances, his face, he had that look of, oh, shit, I don't think I want to do this.
Shot.
I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
He mentally checked out of both fights.
Yeah, I think he was just trying not to get hurt. He was trying to win, but he was trying not to get hurt first.
Now, see, even in the Haney fight, right, when they fought, I thought the fight, outside of the knockdowns, I thought the fight was competitive. Like, it was pretty competitive. Like, I had it even in rounds.
The Ryan fight?
No, with Garcia and Haney when they fought.
Yeah. That was very competitive.
Everyone's acting like Ryan blew Haney out. No, he was looking up at the clock. He was looking up at the clock, huffing and puffing. Like, he lost a lot of rounds in that fight. I thought that was I had it even in rounds, but you subtract the knockdowns, and obviously he wins based off that. So the fact that he was just like this dynamo against Haney, it's just like Haney didn't hurt him, so he was more aggressive. But once this guy gets hurt, he kind of shells up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it a few times now. Like Luke Campbell hit him and knocked him down, but it was a flash knock. He wasn't hurt. Like Rolly hurt him, and as you said, Tank hurt him. Once you hurt this guy, he just mentally checks out of the fight. At least that's what I'm seeing. I'm taking away from what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Big Texan, thank you so much. He said, "Hey, Beeb, sending you my warm wishes."
I got down hard.
That is so nice. That is so nice.
Thank you.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Let me tell you this. At this point, it looks like Ryan Garcia is more interested in being a YouTuber than a fighter. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's really starting to look like. He was on social media. He was balling on, crying on social media. He was still doing his stuff. And listen, when you're winning, nobody cares. All right. When you're winning, that's all great because you're putting people in the seats. But when you start losing, nobody cares. Nobody's going to put up with it.
People jump off the bandwagon quick.
People are off quick, man.
Right.
And so it's great to watch all that and everything like that. But again, when you start losing, man, that people jump off that ship pretty quick. Quick. Wheelchair Man John, thank you so much. He says Haney is equal to Corey Spinks. I don't hate it.
You know who used to say that all the time? D-Style used to say that. He always would compare him to Corey Spinks.
Wow.
Always said that.
Wow. Well, he was definitely right.
He never was crazy about Haney. G-Funky there's a lot of people out there never crazy about Haney. G-Funky.
He had all the tools. He had all the tools.
You liked him. You were like high on him way back
all the tools. When. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said he's going to be the next guy, next pound for pound. And he was until he wasn't.
Yeah.
So there it is. Well, let's talk about the former contender for pound, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. This may have been the worst fight of the weekend, by the way. And that's saying something because all the fights were awful. All right. You can't find a good one. You can find one that's better than the others, but they were all bad. Right. So Devin Haney wins a unanimous decision over Jose Ramirez by the scores of 119-109 twice, 118-110. Antonio runs track now, and I would love to see him race Devin Haney because that's about as exciting as it's going to get for that guy. Haney ran the entire fight.
Oh
I texted you on the second round. I said, there's no way he can win the fight.
You know why I didn't reply to you? You know why I didn't reply to you right away?
No.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exciting.
I kept dozing off and waking back up during the whole card. Really did.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
For sure. It wasn't a good look. I wouldn't pay to see Devin Haney fight again.
No.
He's not the same fighter. What? He wasn't the same. Let me tell you what. He's not the same fighter that lost to Garcia. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now.
Worse.
He is damaged
goods. Worse.
He is damaged goods, and I cannot stress this enough.
And they're getting up on the ring, they're talking trash today.
Talking trash to Garcia when he lost. Like, dude, you knocked it out of the park. Are you kidding me?
You ever see that movie, White Man Can't Jump?
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the bedroom and she's watching Jeopardy and she's talking to Billy and she goes, Billy, sometimes when you lose, you win.
Yep.
And sometimes when you win, you lose.
You really lose.
You won the fight technically, but you lost.
You could make an argument.
You lost the people in that after that performance. You lost the fans.
And the only thing,
lost the fans.
I tell you what, if Ramirez has got to be sick. He's got to be sick this morning watching the replay of that fight.
Yeah.
Because all you had to do is throw a few more shots each round and you're winning that fight.
Yeah.
Because nobody was doing anything.
Those rounds were on the table for him. Just a little more.
It was awful. Awful.
Yeah. So he's acting like, oh yeah, and people ask me, right? Well, why does everyone dislike Devin Haney? Well, first of all, he loses a fight and then he sues the guy. I mean, who does that? That's number one. And number two, every time someone has a bad performance, This guy is the first one to jump on Twitter and rag him. You saw what he did after Ryan lost. Yeah, he jumped up on the ring. But then you don't like it.
Number one, yeah.
Then you don't like it when people give it back to you when you don't look so good.
Right.
And then his father.
And he didn't look great at all.
No,
I mean, it was bad.
He looked bad.
I would have much rather looked like Garcia than Haney last night.
Yes.
I mean, because at least Garcia got knocked down and was able to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here, you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You ran the entire fight.
Yeah. Garcia at least tried in spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he was like a little bit discouraged and seemed to be a bit intimidated, he still tried.
Yeah.
Still tried.
Well, let's talk about the best of the worst on this card. That was Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza. He was kind of the one bright spot on the card. He took chances. It looked to me Teofimo wanted to end the fight, but he kind of pulled off, almost like he knew he wasn't going to be able to, so he just kind of pulled off. And 116 to 112 twice, 118 to 110. I thought 116 to 112 was a little close. 8-4. I don't know.
I think I gave Barboza 2 rounds in the fight.
I didn't give him much either. He was getting crushed.
He just wasn't fast enough. He couldn't pin him down. He couldn't get the range established. Every time Teo would stand, pop, and then move. He never stood straight in front of him. Never stood still. And you made a great point. Like once Teo realized I'm hitting this guy flush, but he's taking it pretty well. I'm just going to cruise to a decision.
And he was another one that could have went to the body, could have got him out of there. I really think so. I really think he could have got him out of there.
Yeah,
he may have had to stand in there and take some shots, but he could have got him out of there.
Yeah.
He was definitely talented enough. I don't even think he would have had to take that many shots. Pocket says Bill and Shane Mosley said Devin would KO Ramirez. Yeah, okay. Devin, because he looked like it last night. Yeah, he looked like he can KO anybody last night.
Listen, nobody's going to be banging down the door wanting to fight Devin Haney now. He's at 140. I don't know if he's still kept his belt at if he's vacated his belt at 140 because he's up at one. I don't know if he's going to campaign at 147. I don't know what the guy's going to do, but nobody's going to be banging down the door to fight this guy. So you might as well do the rematch with Ryan. Like what else is out there for you?
Well, let's talk about that. Do you want to see it? Because I don't want to see it. These two guys, let me tell you, and I think, was it Lampley that was talking about that? These two guys probably need to go their separate ways now because there's no reason for these guys to fight each other. I don't want to see it. Nobody, you're coming out, one guy's got a loss. They both took off a year. You got one guy coming off a loss, right? One guy coming off suing his opponent, running the entire night.
So my argument would be this, right? It's still a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. People can disagree if they want. The way Ryan matches up with Devin, he's more aggressive against Devin because he's not concerned about what's coming back at him. So Ryan would make that fight exciting, like he did the first fight. He can force that fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think Devin Haney could run like that against Ryan like he did against Ramirez because Ramirez is not as quick as Ryan. He doesn't hit as hard as Ryan. So I do think that fight could be interesting, the rematch. I do believe so.
Yeah, I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's, I don't know. Put it on listen, if you guys want to do the card, put it on one of those Saudi cards where they're the 5th one down. You know what I mean? Or there's 3 or 4 other fights on that card. Because it's not interesting at all. Not even in the least to me.
No. The storyline's definitely taking a hit now, right?
And storyline of what? Him suing him?
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Ryan lost, and then
you didn't even get back in the ring. You sued him.
You wanted to fight in the court instead of the ring,
right?
That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, right. So like, come on, man. Like, what in the world? Why would you? I don't know. Why would you sue a guy anyway? I don't know.
Yeah, I've never. It's kind of a bad look.
All right. So that was Friday. This was supposed to be the biggest. We got one guy can pull us out of this rut. When Inoue fights tonight at 9 or 10 on a Sunday. Why are we fighting on a Sunday night?
Some people are telling me. I heard on Twitter that the main card starts at 10, and Inoue may not have the ring walk till 12. That's what I'm hearing. I hope
that is what it is, man. I'm not.
That's who the fuck is gonna watch a fight at 12 o'clock on a Sunday.
They
just can't.
jobs.
They just can't get it right. These guys.
I don't understand.
They can't get it right.
If you're going to do a card on Sunday, do it in the afternoon.
Yes.
Do it in the afternoon.
And wasn't that great watching those fights, like having those cards start early and being able to watch the main event? Like
it was. But I forgot it was at 5 or 6. I was heading home. I was like, oh man, I gotta go. But it's like
so good not having to watch the main event.
Too,
Wait till 12 o'clock to watch the main event, especially if you're an East Coast guy like us.
Bacon and eggs. Yeah, we're on Eastern time zone. So it is 6:21 p.m. over here on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
we're
I think what is it? China's 10 hours ahead of us, I believe. Or
I'm not sure.
Are they 12 hours? I think there might be 12 hours. UK is 5 or 6.
UK's 5, yeah.
Yeah.
UK's 5, yeah.
Yeah, under the microscope. This is why ESPN won't renew and Top Rank is in shambles. I'll tell you what, man. Again, on Sunday,
yeah, it's
you're going to put NUA on, right? And you want eyes on it. Sunday at midnight. Yeah, we're going to stay up for that. MAW, thank you so much, my friend. Hello, boxing fans. Eric's Beebs chat. Tio, outclassing Barboza was better than expected. Congrats to Raleigh. Ryan versus Devin rematch is pointless now. I agree. IMA versus Surace 2 was nice. Skull made Canelo versus Bud doable. Well, you got a point. You got a point. You got a point.
A lot of people are on Twitter today saying, I think Bud's going to win.
I've been saying it. I've been saying
You've been consistent with it, yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying it, man. I told you. Let's talk about that fight. DAZN pay-per-view, Canelo Alvarez against William Skull for the undisputed super middleweight titles. 116, 112, 115, 113, and 119 to 109. All three for the winner and undisputed champion Canelo Alvarez. This fight was absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they charged, the fact that there was a pay-per-view charge for this fight was criminal. It was just criminal because the card was just okay. Card was not pay-per-view worthy, but that main event was. If you're going to put this main event on, you better stack that card, and you didn't. Alvarez did squadooch the entire night. He did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Skull, to his credit, did even less. I don't even know how that's possible. But I'm telling you right now, Canelo looked old in there tonight. And I'm telling you again, Crawford beats him. Crawford beats him in September. End of story. He looked old unless Crawford gets in there in September and he again, sometimes you climb. When you're over 30 and you climb in there, you can get old overnight.
He's gonna have to look older.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
look
older,
but he's gonna have to look older.
Tough to do. He looked old, he looked slow, his movement wasn't there, he didn't look good. Was it a bad outing? Yeah, maybe, I guess. Was it the fact that Skull didn't seem interested in engaging at all? Yeah, maybe. Listen, it was just awful. There's no other way to describe it. No other way.
He threw 152 punches.
Who?
Where was the Canelo?
Was that Canelo?
They broke a record for the lowest amount of punches thrown and landed.
Completely ridiculous.
CompuBox, lowest recorded numbers ever from CompuBox, right?
Jesus.
So people are running interference. Again, this is not me shitting on Canelo. Walks into the Hall of Fame if he retires.
Listen. He doesn't need us dumping on him because that fight did plenty for him. That was a drizzling, know what, man.
But I've been saying this. Canelo is just doing just enough to nick these rounds. He's cruising. He's cruising right now. And to fight Doctor's point,
he's right.
I think you've said this before.
I've said it too.
He has not looked spectacular since that second Golovkin fight in 2018.
That's right.
And he hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked phenomenal since then.
We've been saying,
and ever since then, it's been a steady decline. Yeah. And at this point, last night, he couldn't take Golovkin
out in that third fight.
Yeah,
he should have been able to take Golovkin out because Golovkin was washed then.
He was 40 years old. Yeah. Yep. So again, he threw 152 punches. Okay, you want to say Skull ran, whatever the case may be, but where was the sense of urgency for Canelo? 152 punches. He landed like, I want to say like 50 punches, right? Like, where was the sense of urgency? How can you not cut off the ring? I tell you how you can't cut off the ring. The legs have never been exceptionally quick.
Great, but they're not good now.
Yeah, they were never exceptionally quick, but they're significantly slower now. So your starting point wasn't the best. Now you're even slower than that. So
Skull didn't run.
Okay.
What would you call it? What would you call it? Did Haney not run either? He looked like Devin Haney in there.
Now, these guys were bulldogs. You're right.
Yeah, they were. You're right. They were
chomping at the bit to exchange. Yeah, you're right.
Let me tell you what, man. I ain't never seen anything like it.
Maybe I was high when I was watching those fights.
I tell you what, we should have been high while we were watching those fights. All right.
Yeah.
Boxing, there's a difference. Yeah, we know there's a difference, but look.
Sure. Listen,
are we wrong about this? Listen, man, come on. It's called boxing.
I tell everyone this. Whenever you're in the 10th percentile of an issue or an opinion, you just don't argue it. Like, to this day, I think Bradley beat Pacquiao in the first fight. But I don't talk about it very often.
You don't talk about it either, yeah.
Because I'm in the fucking 10th percentile. So listen, I know my opinion is in the minority and it's statistically insignificant. So guess what? I don't say it. I let that one go. I'll go to the grave. I'll be on hospice and I'll be having a conversation with the priest reading me my last rites. And I still think Bradley beat Pacquiao. Doesn't matter. It's a statistically insignificant opinion.
And we've all had nights like that. Like I said, I had the CJ Ross night with Canelo and Floyd, the first fight. I had the same score she did. I had it a draw. Me and CJ Ross, only people on the planet.
But you don't talk about it very often because you know that your opinion's in the minority, right? So
way in the minority.
Boxing. I'm going to say this with all due respect, and I'm glad that you come and watch us every week. But you're in the slim minority here. Most people aren't. Most people are not going to agree with your assessment here.
It's tough. I will tell you this.
It doesn't mean you can't have it. It doesn't mean you can't have your opinion, but
like you and I are a little bit different because we watch boxing a little bit different than a lot of other people. Like a lot of people, they have their favorites, and we have our favorites too. We love Tyson Fury. I love Raif Salim, Tyson Fury, all the guys, you know what I mean? And Badu Jack, especially last night. It was good to see him get the win. I love a lot of these guys, man, but I can't ride for them and still do the show properly. You know what I mean? Because we got to say, because I'm a big Canelo fan. Listen, I don't know if you guys, here, let me see if I can put it on the single shot here. Yeah, there we go. Picture of Julio Cesar Chavez and Meldrick Taylor over here. Picture of Canelo and Triple G over here. So I've got a Canelo Triple G poster over here. So we definitely listen. I love Canelo, but I got to tell you what I see.
Well, I'll give you another example. When Kyle Froch fought Andre Dirrell, right? I like Andre Dirrell's style better than Kyle Froch's style.
Yeah.
But even if you're biased towards a specific style, there's going to be nights when that style just doesn't work against someone else.
Yeah.
And you can't just say, oh, well, I don't like what this guy. If someone's doing something that's effective, whether you like it or not, you got to score it as such.
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
So even if you're biased towards certain styles, you got to be objective enough to know when those styles aren't working properly.
Look at this. This is a throwback right here. Trick Nolte, thank you so much, my friend. Fantasy fight Mark, Too Sharp Johnson versus Naoya Inoue. I like Naoya Inoue, but it's not an easy fight, and I don't think he knocks him out. I think it goes to a decision. Johnson was really solid. A really amazing fighter is Mark Johnson. But you know how he's do. You know how we say they don't get better with age. They don't get better over time. The 1927 Yankees can't beat any team this year. None. I don't care how good they were back in the day. It's a different game now, different animal. Corvettes and, Roadster, all that stuff, they don't get faster as they age. They get faster. The newer models get faster. They don't get slower. So, yeah. Comment from Reese Mack. Canelo turns 35 on July 18th. He looked 50 last night. So it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. I didn't give Skull a round, but I can understand people giving Skull rounds because neither guy was doing anything. The only reason Canelo got the rounds is he was coming forward.
Yeah, one judge gave him 5 rounds.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't care. I didn't care. If Skull would have won this fight, I wouldn't have cared. You couldn't have got me to care less about that because I would have said, hey, good for him. Because that fight was awful. Just
HLD,
awful.
HLD's calling me. Listen, I'm not going to argue. I'm in the 10. I'm in the 5 percentile. I'm not going to argue with you. My opinion.
You know what? I'm going to defend you here. I'm going to defend you here real quick. While I don't agree with Beeb, I thought that Pacquiao beat Bradley all 3 times when they fought. Okay, I 100%. Yeah. Listen, Beeb put his money where his mouth is. He bet on Bradley. He had his brother bet on Bradley, and they won. So you guys can say he's wrong all tonight. He's got the receipts to prove it. He won money off it. So who actually won? Beeb and Bradley won. You know.
Yeah. And I bet on Durrell. But I scored the fight for Froch. Like I score fights for fighters who I like Lamont Peterson, right? When he fought Amir Khan.
Yeah.
I got 9-1 odds on Lamont Peterson, but I still think Khan edged the fight. But I was happy to take the money and run.
Right.
But I thought Khan beat Lamont Peterson. I thought he edged him.
Andre Ward. Andre, one of our favorite fighters, and both of us. Yeah. I mean, and I had Andre Ward rated as top pound for pound, even when Floyd was there at top pound for pound. I said Andre Ward's a better fighter. I've been saying this for a long time, and I had him when he fought Sergey Kovalev that first time. As much as I love him, man, as much as he's my guy, I scored the fight for Kovalev. I thought he won the fight. You know what I mean? It just is. But it was gone either way. Judges saw it your way. I saw it my way. You know what I mean? It just
could have gone either way. Could have gone either way. Yeah.
Absolutely. But we weren't treated to a fight like that. That was a fight. That could have went either way. Somebody had to bite down in that fight. Nobody had to bite down here.
Yeah.
They could have not worn mouthpieces. They would have been fine.
Yeah.
My man, Badu Jack, friend of the show.
I like Badu Jack.
He looked good. It was a good win for him against Norwell Mikkeljan. 12 rounds for Jack's WBC Cruiserweight title. Unanimous decision. It was a majority decision. 114 all, and then 115, 113 twice for Badu Jack. He looked good. I don't know how he looks if he's going to step up his talent here. Yeah. And that's going to be interesting, in cruiserweight and everything like that. If he steps it up in a cruiserweight, how's he going to look? I don't know. But you know what? I'm here for it because he looked okay. He looked good. He didn't look old. He looked good.
Yeah.
Was he vintage Badu Jack? No, but he looked good.
Yeah, he can still fight though.
Yeah. Jack versus Opataya. Listen,
why not?
I don't hate it. Why not?
If he wants to do it, why not?
Absolutely. Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Surace, 10 rounds, super middleweights. Let me tell you what. Teofimo Lopez and Jaime Munguia were the guys this weekend. We still have Naoya Inoue on deck. We're not going to look past him. I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed that he could save the weekend. But after the way the weekends went, I don't know. Listen. Munguia wins unanimous decision. 116, 112, 117, 111 twice. I thought the scores were a little close for me, to be honest with you. I thought that it looked to me almost like a shutout. I've never seen, and you know this, I've never been a big Munguia fan.
Yeah.
And I've always been very critical of him. I always thought he was just a brawler.
Yeah, he boxed pretty well.
Let me tell you what, I was wrong. He looked like he changed his whole game around.
Yeah.
He looked polished. He looked sharp. He was boxing better than I've ever seen him in any of his fights.
And he needed to.
He looked amazing.
Yeah, and he needed to.
He looked so good. He was landing shots. The guy was taking them. He was taking them pretty well. But Munguia was just landing shots. It almost reminded me of, you remember the Terry Norris-Simon Brown fight?
Oh, yeah.
The second one, when he came back and just ran all 12 off on him.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like here.
Maneuvered him the whole
It was that
fight.
kind of a one-sided beating. I mean, because Munguia looked amazing. He looked better than I've ever seen him look. You could put that guy against anybody right now. He looked that good.
No, he's still got time to get
young.
better,
and he's going to get better. And whatever they're doing in training, keep it up because he looked awesome. Yeah. Santero Media, you're 100% right. Certified Munguia hater until now. Props to Lorda for changing lanes. He looked.
Listen,
because we were talking about Berlanga. Okay, so you remember Berlanga?
Yes.
We were talking about him and Berlanga fighting. That's a mismatch right now after what I saw last night.
Yes.
But we were talking about that because they were both on the same level.
Same trajectory, yeah.
I don't know what happened to Munguia, that new training, whatever he's doing, he went to the stratosphere after this fight. He looked amazing. Best fighter by far on either card, the most impressive performance on either card. Get that smirk off your face.
I'm laughing at this chat. They're killing me, man. They're killing me in the chat.
Hey, just like boxing says, you're a Dubois hater, all right? How about that?
They're destroying me in the chat. They're strafing me in the chat right now.
They're strafing you? What did you do?
I don't know. I tell the truth, man. Sometimes the truth, people don't want to accept it.
And then let's talk about this one. I didn't even catch this fight, but I don't think I missed much. And Beeb, I don't know if you saw the fight either. Martin Bakole versus Efe Ajagba, 10 rounds.
Yeah, I saw it.
Bakole and Ajagba fought to a majority draw, 96-94 for Ajagba, and then 95-95 for both. Listen, I don't want to be the one to say it. But I think I'm going to be the one to say it. Jared Anderson has just ruined Martin Bakole. By the way, Jared Anderson, Ohio, son. Bakole has not looked good since that fight. He's got a knockout and a one-sided loss because this was a loss here. Ajagba beat him.
I thought Ajagba
beat him sound.
I thought Ajagba
even though I didn't see it, I know Ajagba beat him sound.
Yeah,
all right, there you go. Ruined him. Completely ruined him. I told you he just got lucky that night. Nobody wanted. Oh no, you're crazy. You're crazy.
To be honest with you,
look at it.
To be honest with you, that was his last. That was his last good performance.
It was.
It's true.
Right, it was.
It's not a lie.
No.
It's not a lie.
I told you, man. I told you.
He looked so out of shape last night, too.
He looked out of shape for the Jared Anderson fight, but he was able to pull it together.
Yeah.
Like
he looked worse in this fight. He looked just as bad as he looked in the Parker fight.
You know what? You know what I do? I get Jared Anderson one more fight, and then I rematch him. If Jared Anderson wants to fight and he doesn't have legal stuff going on, I take a tune-up, and then I take him, and then I go get a Ajagba again.
That was a winnable fight for Jared Anderson if they waited probably another year and a half.
Yeah. But, I mean, the way he's looking now, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, let's see here.
Yeah, he's
299 pounds.
Jesus. The new rule is we don't bet on clinically obese heavyweights ever again. We don't pick them.
Not even Tyson Fury.
And I'm gonna say, not even Tyson Fury. And I'm gonna say this, and I'll say it again, and people don't like it when I say it.
265.
265. Name one heavyweight above 265 that was really great. Because Fury, at his best, was in the 255 to 265 range.
And now check this out. If you're a fighter that fights in the 275-pound range, you can get down. You can drop a little bit of weight.
We've seen Fury
better for
we've seen Fury in the 50s.
Yeah.
So don't tell me he can't get down to 265. That's bullshit.
299 pounds. Like, give me a break, man. Tony Tubbs wasn't. How much did he weigh? He wasn't that heavy, was he?
He was up there too. But here's the thing, Eric. He was short. He was like 6'2", and I trying to remember how much. I think he was like 270, 280. I think he was, but he was short.
238. He was 238 for the Tyson fight.
But was he that low? Like,
yeah, he was 238. Sure? Yeah,
because he was heavy. He had a big stomach, man.
He was, and let me tell you what though. And one of my classmates I went to school with is actually related to Tony Tubbs.
Really?
Yeah. And Nate Tubbs. Yeah, Tony and Nate Tubbs. And let me tell you what, Tony Tubbs one of the best boxers you're ever going to see. He really was. I mean, guy was heavyweight champion. Heavyweight champion from Cincinnati, baby.
Yeah, so he's been as high as 260, but like again, he's like only 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
Is there a functional 275, Beeb?
I'm gonna say one guy. Well, no, even Brock Lesnar. He's 265 when he's in the UFC. When he's in the UFC.
265, yep.
Now he's a functional 275 maybe in the WWE, but
well, it's all the steroids he's taking in the WWE,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that was the fights. After the fight, Turki Al-Sheikh. Listen, I like Turki Al-Sheikh. I'm gonna preface this with this. I like Turki Al-Sheikh, but like he's got to like have his nose in everything. Yeah. And I get he's financing it, but he's not an Al Heyman type where Al Heyman's just behind the scenes financing. He's right in the middle, wanting to get in the thick of things, like he wants to run for office or something. Like, dude, I get it. Yeah. Everybody's gonna kiss the ring. He's like the Saudi version of Trump or something like that, where he wants everybody to bow down. I get it. You're putting on great fights. We all appreciate it. But dude, come on. Give it a rest. So he brought in Terence Crawford and Canelo to face off in there, And then did you see the ring belt he gave him? I guess he gave Canelo the new ring belt.
I saw the ring belt.
It looked like the old ring belt.
It looked like the old ring belt.
It looked like the old ring belt. It was red, white, and blue or whatever.
It just had like the yellow, had a yellow leather strap or something. Who gives a fuck, right?
It was dumb. And what was it with that WBC belt? It was all flowers and everything on it.
Yeah, it looked like an Easter egg.
Just from a poppy field or something like that.
Yeah, it looked like an Easter egg belt.
What is he going to do? I mean, like, really, what is Suleiman going to do? Like, he's got a belt for every. Give me a break. Come on.
Enough.
Although I do like the $1 million belts over here. That is pretty nice.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool on my wall. I want to get that Union Jack one. Oh,
the one Fury had when he beat Dillian White? That one's pretty sharp. The white one, I like the white one. The white one was pretty decent.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, and he said it was 100% gold.
Yeah.
And how soft that thing is.
Worth a couple $100,000.
I wonder how soft real gold is. Like if they bump it or something, does it break off?
If it's 24 karat,
because this is he said 100% gold. So
yeah, if it's 24 karat gold, 24 karat gold is very, very soft. It's very soft.
That's what I thought too. Like,
even in Italy when they do jewelry, they usually have it like 18 karat because they like to put a little alloy in there, so it's somewhat durable.
They have to have something in there so it's durable because it's a soft metal. You know, so when he said 100% gold, I'm like, how are you gonna manage that?
Yeah. This little chain I have is my grandmother's. Is my grandmother's chain. It's very, very. It's 18 karat. It's very delicate.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me bring on Robert real quick.
Fucking scoundrel.
Robert, you're live.
Bobby, what's up?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good.
How you doing, Bob?
Boy, I gotta honestly tell you, this was a terrible weekend of fights.
Thanks, Bob.
You paid for it.
And
you paid $80. Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
So you know what you should do, Robert? This is what you should do, Robert. Right?
You paid at Applebee's for that.
You should
send it 6 times.
You should send an email to DAZN, right? Send an email to DAZN. And say that the
write a letter to DAZN.
say the reception was really bad and the quality of the pay-per-view was bad. See if you can get your money back.
That would be lying.
We
don't condone that.
Joe, I've already done that.
You've never done that. Stop it.
Did you seriously?
He's never done that before.
Yeah, I did that.
You went and got your money back on this fight?
No, I don't know if I'll get my money back, but I let them know that ever since I've been a DAZN subscriber, this has been the worst weekend of fights that they've ever put on.
Nobody cares about that.
I thought you were telling me Did you lie and say the reception was bad? And
what do they care if it's a bad weekend of fights? You paid them.
You've never done that, so stop saying you have. You've never done it. I've done it. I've done it before. I've gotten money back for pay-per-views, telling them that the reception was bad.
How bad?
Yeah, no,
How bad was that Devin Haney fight, Robert?
Oh, I want to tell you, Eric. I know Devin Haney is still in his 20s, but he looked like a boxer that is already retired.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
Frankly, I know we're going to see him again. You know what I want to see? I want to see him and Teofimo Lopez in the ring, and I want Lopez to tear him apart.
Yeah, Lopez is going to kill him.
No Ryan Garcia rematch. Set him up with Teofimo Lopez. Make it, put that fight together, and I guarantee you, Lopez will beat the crap out of him. It won't even be close.
So now you're rooting for Devin Haney to get hurt, like you did for Golovkin when you didn't like.
Yeah,
Golovkin
when he switched
anymore.
to the zone. Remember when Golovkin switched to his zone, Robbie
As
started.
soon as Golovkin went over to the zone, he had a couple shaky performances. You said, "I hope he gets beat up and hurt." Now you want Devin Haney to get beat up.
So,
cold-blooded.
I mean, please.
Cold.
This level
fish.
of malice that you harbor inside you.
Let's put it bluntly. Devin Haney looked the worst of anybody all weekend.
But then you just said you want.
I don't know. Canelo looked pretty bad too. But Boxing wants to know.
Well,
he said, "Thank you so much, Boxing." He said, "Robbie, what platform are the women going at it on tonight?"
Oh, give me a break.
Brazzers.
That's not a channel, is it?
Thank God we're not watching any women fight tonight. And by the way, I'm going to get all over ESPN here. I'll tell you exactly why ESPN is pulling this garbage with Inoue. And I do think Inoue will deliver tonight. But this is exactly why. The Sunday night baseball game is the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Atlanta Braves. And, of course, who plays for the LA Dodgers now? Shohei Ohtani. What they're trying to do is make sure that enough Japanese people will tune in to watch Shohei Ohtani first and then Inoue afterwards.
Oh.
You have no
because we're going to
evidence.
stay up that late and watch
You have no evidence to support what you just said. So you think the people in Japan that are 12 hours ahead of us are going to wake up tomorrow morning and they're going to watch the Dodgers? Get out of here with these conspiracy theories of yours.
I'm just telling you, that's exactly why they're doing this crap. And hopefully,
that's exactly like they called you and told you the blueprint on what they're doing tonight. You say it so emphatically.
Look, if anybody's listening who follows sports, I want to see anybody in the chat.
Like I don't follow sports.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, so I think that's a good move, putting him on at 10 at night and then having his ring walk at what, 11:30, 12
on a Sunday.
I think that's great.
Good, Eric. That's great. Well, you just said it was good. You just said it was good, and now you want to flip it. Please.
No, I didn't say it was good. I said this is why they're doing it. Eric, I totally agree with you. On a Sunday night for people on the East Coast to stay up until midnight to watch him fight, this is not why Top Rank brought him to the United States. ESPN did a terrible job of putting this together. They should have put it on much earlier in the day if they wanted eyeballs on this like they claim. They did a terrible job here.
There you go. Robert, real quick, should Haney rematch Ryan Garcia? Do you want to see that fight?
I know. Like I said, Lopez should be next. And you know what? I hope Rolly Romero will get a top-notch fight out of it. He wasn't supposed to win that fight, and he actually showed up.
He's had two top-notch fights against Tank, against Ryan. He's getting his.
He deserves a big payday after this.
I agree. Real quick before I get you out of here, Canelo versus Terence Crawford. How did you think Canelo looked last night?
Awful.
You think he beats Terence Crawford?
Totally. Before Canelo fought Skull, I was going to pick Canelo all day to beat Crawford. Now, I think Terence Crawford will find a way to win that fight.
I believe so. All right, there you go. All right, Robert, I'm going to put you back on hold here.
Get him out.
What is wrong with you? What's the matter with you? All right, 718 New York. You're live.
What's going on, guys? It's Rafa from New York.
Rafa, what's up, man?
What's up, Rafa?
What's going on, man? And this this weekend was very, very painful being a boxing fan. I mean, I felt
Bad.
it almost felt like my ex broke my heart again. Like that.
Let's not go
Right.
down this
No,
road
as a
now.
fan.
Let's not go down that
Because
road now.
You were
please.
looking so
They-
forward.
they-
You were looking
It
forward
wasn't
to this
that- it wasn't
all
that
week,
bad.
man. And it
It
was.
wasn't
I'm
that
telling you,
bad.
it was.
I'm
telling you.
I was genuinely looking forward to this big event in Times Square. I wanted to see how they were going to pull it off. Thankfully, I didn't go to Times Square. I know that there's a big tourist trap, and especially when I heard that it wasn't open to the public, I just said, you know what? I'm going to go home early, going to get off work, and I'm going to go enjoy the show. It's a Friday. It's going to be, great enjoyment. Funny enough, though, one of my friends asked me who had the chance of potentially pulling the upset, and I almost called it right. I told him, like, listen, the odds are in Barbosa's favor. It seems like he's the most fundamentally sound
That's what I
guy.
thought.
He's built
That's
up
what
a
I
lot of
thought.
momentum. Plus Teofimo has been very consistent. So that's what a lot of the odds maker are pushing. But I think Teofimo is too athletic and Barbosa's is too flat-footed. So I think Teofimo should pull it off no problem. I said, Devin is going to win in a landslide. And to me, I feel like karma is going to hit, Ryan in the ass by Rolly probably KOing him under 6 rounds because of the history that they have in sparring. That old history when they sparred like 8 years ago. So mentally, you can make the argument that Rolly has him. And B, the power, as soon as you hit Ryan with a power shot, he'll get tamed and he'll be hesitant about, throwing that left hook. I was wrong about the time. I was wrong about the KO, but sure, honestly, that felt like a bummer. And it's karma for Turkey Al-Sheikh as well, because he's trying to create these storyline fights. Yeah. You got to strike with the iron is hot. You can't be predicting you're disrespecting other fighters like they don't exist. Like, listen, at the end of the day, if there's a lot of momentum and a lot of the buildup, you make the match right away. The entire promotion was built around Ryan and Haney, and look how that turned out. What I didn't expect was Haney to perform the way that he did. I thought that he was going to be the same old Haney, but I didn't think he was going to run around the ring. I didn't think he was going to be mentally as hurt, particularly with the fact that we kept hearing that Haney was stopping guys in sparring and he had Shane Mosley teaching him how to turn. I never bought into that, but I felt like he was going to show a little bit more. I was genuinely shocked. So that Friday was deflating. Last night with Canelo, man, I kind of wish that Jake Paul Canelo fight would have gone through, because that would have been more exciting.
It would have been a lot more exciting.
Yeah, there would have been much more excitement. And I'll tell you this: I don't think that performance that Canelo didn't necessarily sway me on the Crawford Canelo matchup and how that would match up, because at the end of the day, you have to look at that skull. Even though he's not really, a world-class level fighter, he is much bigger. He is at 168. Crawford, I don't know how he's going to respond the minute that he gets hit by Crawford. Even though the Canelo has, significantly slowed down by a lot, honestly, I don't know how Crawford is going to respond. But aside from that, man, I am so disappointed. I barely watch any other sports. This was pretty painful to watch. And lastly, the last thing, give me your honest opinion. The commentating on the zone was awful. How you can have Haney on one end, apparently by a landslide, winning all the rounds versus Ramirez, but then on the same end, the very next day, you have Skull fighting. I agree, it was an awful fight that Skull fought, but you can't tell me that the guy didn't win a single round against Canelo, including Canelo not landing one punch in a round, and he's winning the fight by a landslide. It smells so bad, man. But that's my call, man. I keep doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Rafael. Thank you so much. Beeb, let me address that real quick. I thought the announcing on the zone was good on Friday. I love Jim Lampley. I love Antonio Tarver. I thought they did a great job.
It's almost like Lampley and Tarver were great together. And
they were awesome.
Even Kopp, man. Ever since he went with Turkey Al Sheikh, man, huge improvement on Kopp.
Friend of the show.
I can't believe you never liked him, but he did
friend
good.
of the show. Yeah, always down with Kopp. And now you're on the bandwagon. Yeah. Now you're on Kopp's bandwagon.
Trying to get in, man. I sent my resume over. I have to be friendly with everybody over there. I'm trying to get a job.
No. Listen to me. Kopp knows. He's like Santa. He always knows. All right. But I thought they did good. I didn't like Sergio Mora the next day. Him and whoever else was in that.
Chris Mannix.
All of them got to go. All of them got to go. Just replace them with Lampley and Antonio Tarver. You guys are going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. One more call, then let's get to the news here. 518 New York. You're live.
What's going on? You can hear me, fellas?
Yes. Who are we speaking with?
Don Tony Teflon. Talking to you again.
Hey,
I appreciate the work that y'all do.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, man.
What's going on? What's going on, man? How's everything? Hope everything's good with y'all. I'll be quick. As quick as I possibly can be. I thought that the New York card looked like a billionaire who had a backyard party and invited boxers for his millionaire friends to watch.
That's exactly what it looked like. That's
what
a great analogy.
That was an excellent analogy.
That was.
It looked like that to me. As for Devin Haney and everything, I think Devin was just trying to survive to get to the next fight, so he didn't look good, but he just wanted to get to the next fight, so he did what he had to do to get there and take no damage just so he can get there. And when you have fights already lined up like that, I think you're going to get results like that from fighters and stuff. If that wasn't the case, then I think he would have fought better and tried more. But I think that was his whole strategy. Let's just win this and get to the Brian Garcia fight. And if he would have got knocked out, imagine how much he would have got blasted for it. So that's what I think happened there. And Ryan Garcia's problem is I think that he is too much of this era of social media, and he's so afraid to become a meme and get knocked out that he's just not going to take the chances at any time, and he's going to do anything he can to prevent himself from being that meme and being a victim of social media. I think he's too aware of that. And fighters back in the day didn't have to go through that situation. Now, as for the other card was garbage, so I just want to talk about Canelo Crawford. Crawford's going to beat him, and I'm going to give you the exact reasons why he's going to beat him. Number one, he has faster feet, he has longer reach, and he has height. Now, and also the best thing about Crawford is that either with the left hand or the right hand, his jab is as strong as people's straight hand. Yep. And he's going to bust him up. And usually that's how we do it. And you see how Mayweather beat him, it was the lead right hand that kept Canelo back. And Crawford's going to use the same thing, but with both hands. And I think that they'll stop the fight from the damage that Canelo's going to take. His face gets red really quick, and Crawford just tagging him. I think they may stop the fight on this guy, and that's going to be the end of the fight and how that winds up. I just don't think that people always look at the size advantage and saying Canelo has a size advantage. Canelo's a blown up super middleweight. This is not David Benavidez he's fighting. Fighting someone who was smaller, who moved up. He's going to be a little wider than him. But that's about all when it comes down to it. And I think that people need to look at the speed that no one's taking that into account. Because they say, oh, Canelo's so much bigger than him. Canelo's so much bigger. Wait till he hits him. How's Canelo going to deal with the speed of this man, the accuracy of this man, the skill level, the skill set of this man? Canelo has been foiled by people many a time. And the number one factor is he's not afraid of Canelo. Everyone Canelo fights is afraid of him. Bud will not be afraid to get hit, stand in the pocket, and deliver his shots. He's not going to be afraid of him. I think Canelo gets over a lot because a lot of these people fear him for whatever reason. He's not going to have that same fear factor with Bud. Bud's not afraid of anybody. I think Bud goes in there, just like Sugar Ray Leonard, when he see Marvelous Marvin Hagler, when he see them fight, turns and he said, I see something here, I can beat this guy. It's the same thing Bud did. When Bud seen him, Bud seen something, so I could beat this guy. And that's why he cherry-picked Canelo out of everybody.
There you go. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for the call. Good call as usual. Listen, he's right. And let me tell you what, and he's talking about the Crawford fight. And I've told you this for the longest time now.
Yeah.
Crawford's a wrestler. Crawford knows how to wrestle. He's very strong. Is he going to be as strong? I imagine they're about, let me tell you this. I don't know if he's going to be stronger than Canelo, but I know Canelo's not going to be able to push him around. He's not going to be able to do it. We said that during the Errol Spence fight, that he's not going to be able to push Crawford around, and that's what happened. Crawford was much stronger. It's a different, I'm telling you, man, if you've never trained like jiu-jitsu, if you've never wrestled before, it's a different type of strength. I'm telling you, it's not just straight right hands. It's not, it's not just right hands and that kind of like the frame type strength and pushing the guy off you. It's a different type of strength.
Yeah.
And it's strong. There are strong guys, man. So there you go. All right. May 4th, which is tonight. Naoya Inoue versus Ramon Cardenas, 12 rounds for Inoue's undisputed featherweight championship. Co-main, Rafael Espinoza versus Edward Vasquez. I think Naoya Inoue saves the weekend. I think he knocks him out. But I'm also positive I'm probably not going to stay up to watch it. So I'll probably catch a replay or something like that.
Won't be able to watch the whole thing tonight.
Yeah, May 10th, San Diego on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Charlie Suarez, 12 rounds for Navarrete's WBO junior lightweight title. Raymond Muratalla versus Zaire Abdullayev, 12 rounds for the vacant IBF lightweight interim title. Let's see what else we got here. From Nottingham, England, on DAZN, Anthony Kakache versus Lee Wood. Good fight,
Great
12
fight.
rounds. Yeah.
Great fight. Yeah.
Junior lightweights, Liam Davies on the co-main versus Kurt Walker, 12 rounds featherweights. Erickson Lubin, I saw this was going to be on Pro Box TV versus undefeated Ardriel Holmes Jr., 12 rounds junior middleweights. Not a bad fight.
Interesting.
Not a bad fight. Let's see what else we got. Kaz Ioka versus Martinez versus Fernando Daniel Martinez on May 11th. For the junior bantamweight title. And I believe that's it for next week. It goes into the 13th, and I believe that's the week. I believe that's during the week. It's an Australian fight, Jaio Pataya versus Claudio Squeo. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when it rolls. But yeah, I mean, Jaio Pataya is the guy right now at cruiserweight.
At cruiser for sure.
Yeah, at cruiser for sure. You remember when Robbie wanted to get rid of the whole cruiserweight division? Because he didn't like anything. He doesn't know what he's doing. Right? He wanted to get rid of. He wanted to abolish the cruiserweight.
He's a hater, man. He's been a hater his whole life. That kid.
Hater. Sometimes we got to straighten him out like that.
That's right.
News and rumors. Canelo Crawford, of course, is on for September. I like it. Did they say? Where are they going to have that fight at? Does anybody?
Allegiant Stadium, Eric. Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
That's huge. That's the.
Guess who's promoting it? Guess who's promoting it?
Turkey.
No, TKO.
That's
Dana.
a big fight.
Dana's promoting it.
Uncle Dana, baby.
Maestro's not gonna like that. Maestro hates Dana.
Oh, come on.
And I'm gonna rank on him the whole time.
Yeah, I tell you what, they got a point because he's paying these guys. Look what he paid them last night for that nonsense.
Yeah.
Dana pays them for knockouts and everything like that.
Sure.
Dubois and Usyk had press conferences this weekend. Dubois pushed him at the presser. Let me tell you what, I don't know if you saw any of that. I don't like Dubois' body language. And I thought the fact that he pushed him off, Usyk didn't say a word to him. And he pushed him off. He doesn't look the same. I'm telling you that right now. I like Dubois. I know you can't stand Dubois. You call him a quitter and all that other nonsense.
I love Dubois.
But I will tell you this. I think that Usyk wins that fight. And Usyk looks like he's already got the edge on that fight right now.
Yeah, you have to favor Usyk in the fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be pulling for Dubois because I really like the guy, but I don't. Yeah. It's hard to not favor Usyk in any fight at this point.
Yeah,
and I bet against him.
Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu will rematch. They're gonna rematch. That's gonna be a good fight. That's a good
fun fight. And I'm glad.
Should win, but Tszyu hadn't looked that great lately, so who knows?
It's funny, Eric, because I saw the headline that the Zayas fight, they called off the purse bid for that. And I didn't know who Fundora's opponent was going to be in place of Zayas. But then when they told me it was going to be Tszyu, I was like, okay, that's okay. It's cool. But at first I was disappointed,
Right. Yeah, I'm not hating Zoo. I'm not hating that fight.
I'm glad he's
hating
getting
that
another
fight at
title
all.
shot. That's awesome. Good
Yeah,
for him.
exactly.
Good for him, man.
Exactly. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X. Hey, before we wrap up, Beeb, talk about your podcast on Sunday at 10 a.m.
Make sure you check out the Populous Perception podcast on the other channel every Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Myself, Ludo, and Maestro's been taking some time off, but he'll be back at the end of May. And we just talk about politics, latest news and politics, things going on around the world.
Yeah. Guys, expand your horizons. You know what I mean? Expand your horizons. Go out there, experience the world. And Beeb will tell you how to do that on his podcast. See how I did that, right? See how I did that? Segway Sam right there, baby.
It's good promo, man. Good promo.
That's how I do it. That's how I do it, you know. Catch Beeb on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com. Find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you next week.